I'm a young journalist in San Francisco. A rich heir used a game to get close to me, and I fell for him. Started with a lie so ridiculous. I laughed out loud right in his face. But 3 months later, I was the one lying wide awake, heart split open, wondering if it had all been real. I was 24, fresh out of Berkeley, and barely surviving in the ruthless press scene of San Francisco. My name's Micah Vale Omega, ambitious, and addicted to chasing stories no one dared to touch. I wasn't looking for love. I was chasing my first front-page feature at the Chronicle, the kind of piece that would move me from copyboy to byline. That's when he walked in. Hunter Lancaster, heir to the Lancaster Hotel's empire, America's favorite tabloid enigma. An alpha with a reputation for scandal, heartbreak, and charm sharpened like glass. Everyone knew him. No one knew about him. The man was a mystery draped in Armani. He requested an interview. Said he had a story for me. I want to confess something, he told me at the North Bridge, a rooftop bar overlooking the Bay Bridge. But only if you're willing to play a game. I rolled my eyes. This isn't a casino, Lancaster. But he smiled, that smirk that didn't quite reach his eyes. It's a game of truth. One question for one answer. Yours or mine. We take turns. You stop whenever it's too much. I should have walked away. But instead I leaned in. What's your biggest regret? I asked. His answer was a beat too fast. Falling in love with someone I couldn't have. I laughed. He didn't. The game began that night. Every week we'd meet. Same bar, same rules. I brought my tape recorder. He brought secrets. First it was thrilling. Exclusive peeks into his life, his fake friendships, the Cold War with his father, the billions he pretended not to care about. Then, slowly, his questions turned personal. Why do you always flinch when someone calls you pretty? What does your mother think of your scent blockers? Do you even like being an Omega? I started dreading the questions, and craving them. Somewhere between his confessions and mine, we stopped pretending it was about journalism. One night, it rained so hard it drowned the city. The bar was empty. He looked tired, like the weight of his world had finally gotten to him. Micah, he said, voice low, if I asked you to give up this story, would you? I stared at him. You're my story. He kissed me like he was starving. And I let him. God, I wanted to be his story. We started seeing each other outside the game. Secret brunches in Napa. Nights tangled in designer sheets at his penthouse suite downtown. He cooked for me badly. He listened when I talked about my childhood in Oakland, about growing up as an Omega in a beta-dominated foster home. And for a while it was perfect, until I found the file. It was in his study, tucked in a locked drawer I never should have opened. Inside were clippings of my articles, surveillance photos, even a report on my heat cycle schedule. And at the top, the logo of the Circle. The Circle was an underground alpha society I had been investigating months ago, known for influencing politics, media, and billionaires from the shadows. The one story I'd never finished because all my sources had either vanished or shut up. I was shaking. I called him. You knew. From the beginning. His silence was deafening. So was I part of your game too? I whispered. No, he said. Micah, you were the only real thing. The game was the truth, you just didn't know how much it would cost. I walked out before he could finish. I wanted to hate him. I tried to hate him. I filed a partial draft to my editor. Blew open the existence of the Circle without mentioning Hunter by name. But the night before it went to print, he showed up at my apartment. No security. No suit. Just him, wet from the rain, holding a plain white envelope. Read it, he said, handing it to me. Inside, a notarized document. His sworn testimony implicating the Circle. Names, details, locations. Everything I had ever dreamed of exposing. I'm walking away from the inheritance. I leaked it all. You can have the story. Why? I asked, tears burning. He looked at me like I was the only thing left in his world. Because you're not the kind of man I could win. You're the kind of man I had to deserve. He turned to leave, and I broke. Stay, I said. He did. The article broke the city open. CEOs stepped down. Politicians scrambled. The Chronicle offered me a contract and front-page spread. My face was on every screen for a week. But I didn't feel like a hero, because love, real love, doesn't end on a front page. Hunter sold his shares, moved into a modest loft in Soma, got a dog, learned how to make eggs without burning them. And every morning, he left a note by my coffee that said one word. Still choosing you, still sorry, still yours. It wasn't easy, being with an alpha who once played me like a pawn. But he changed, or maybe he chose. We still play the game. One question for one truth. Last week, I asked, "Do you ever wish you'd never met me?" And he said, "I wish I met you sooner." Today, it's my turn to answer. He kisses my neck, warm and slow. "Do you still love me, Micah?" And I whisper, "More than any story I'll ever write. Because some truths are better than headlines." Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.